Today's show is all about tactics that are working, and it is sponsored by me. So you can see a little picture on the screen behind me here. If you haven't gotten a copy of this book yet, which is called How to Get Consulting Clients Fast, even if nobody's ever heard of you, you can go to your free copy at newkernbook.com. I'm doing that URL by memory. I hope I've given you the right website URL. If you cover the shipping, the book is yours. Particularly useful if you're a coach or a consultant or professional services provider. If you're none of those things, book's probably not going to do you any good, so you won't want a copy. But if you're looking for clients, I think you'll enjoy this one. It's on me, $5.60 shipping anywhere in the world. So, as you may or may not know, this is an interactive show, which means you can call in. And the number to call, if you have questions, is, ladies and gentlemen, 858-859-9486. Oh, there it is. It's right there on the screen for a minute. 858-859-9486. I think we'll pop it on the screen. There it is. If you have some questions, go ahead and call in. What I want to do for you right now is show you some cool stuff that worked. So, as you know, this is live right now, Friday, the 3rd of, I keep wanting to say January, the 3rd of June. It's 11:15 in the morning Pacific time. Hope you guys are having a great day. Second show that we've done, tested it last week, didn't send an announcement to my mailing list, just sort of arbitrarily, just bam. Did it on Facebook and wanted to see what would happen if you tried very lightly to sell something from such a show. And I measured everything, and I have really, really interesting statistics for you on how this thing worked. Can you sell stuff? How do you sell stuff? Does it work? Is it worth doing? So, in the interest of not embarrassing myself on camera any more than is necessary, I recorded the stats for you this morning at around 7 o'clock. So I'm going to play the stats recording video for you right now. You can see behind the scenes into my Wicked Reports account and see exactly what the results of last week's show were in terms of traffic, conversion, and overall revenue. So, Sassy Dazzle, if you could please roll the video.
Let's see how the show performed. Okay, so as I probably just told you live on camera, I'm filming this for you this morning. It's around 7 o'clock a.m. here on Friday at the time I'm recording this. And let me show you how the show did. Whoops, click the wrong button there. There we go. All sources ROI. So I did that show on Thursday of last week, so that was the 26th of May. And Wicked Reports will only show stats up until the day before you're actually looking at the stats. So today, of course, is the 3rd, but it's showing up to the 2nd. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say, show me everything that came from the show. And here we go. So what I'm first looking at are how many new customers that were not within my system came from the show. So as you can see right here, we got 509 total clicks here, and I had 58 sales that were new customers. Those 58 sales resulted in $3,527.20 because people buy other stuff after they get my free book. Now, if we go and say, okay, what this means, by the way, is this is the first time these people had clicked any of my websites that are being tracked. So I'm tracking people this was their first click, right? So now let's have a look at people who had clicked other stuff before, but this was the last click they made before they bought something. With these folks, I had a total of 146 sales for a total of $5,638.40. So there's a little bit of overlap between first click and last click in the reporting. So I'm just going to conservatively say the total amount of sales from the campaign was 146 sales, and the total revenue was $5,638.40. And this all came from 509 visitors to the website. The only place the website was promoted was on the show, just like this one. So there's the behind-the-scenes action on the Facebook show.
I got to tell you, this is amazing. I can't believe that worked. So while the video is playing, I'm texting with my team, my friend Lawton Childs, who's also watching this for me, and they're saying, we can't believe it. It actually worked. Isn't that crazy? The software I'm using to make all this happen is something called Wirecast, made by the same folks who make ScreenFlow, paid a whopping $495 for it. We've got 4 cameras hooked up to this thing, and a laptop and a couple monitors. All that stuff is being powered by this Wirecast program, straight to you, live on Facebook, with relatively professional quality stuff. Of course, taking into consideration who your host is. If you got questions, comments, need any help, our number is on the screen. You can call now, 858-859-9486. Now, what I just showed you is a clear demonstration of me being wrong. Andrew, I was wrong. I was wrong. Where was I wrong? So long I've said social media was a waste of time. I mean, someone could get a montage of me doing it and really make me look dumber than normal if they wanted to. I have for years said, don't waste your time on Facebook. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. And I was wrong, kind of. I was kind of wrong. So what last week's show was a show with a purpose. So here's where I'm right about social media being a waste of time. If you post on social media and you have no definitive purpose for making the post, then you're wasting your time. So if you're just trying to stroke your own ego or whatever, or argue with people about, Trump or something, or whoever else is arguing about Hillary, I suppose, or Bernie, or one of those 3 wonderful people, it's a waste of time. But if you post with a definitive, specific outcome, then it is not a waste of time. Last week's show, as well as this week's and all future shows, primarily have 2 primary outcomes that I wish to accomplish with each show. Number 1 is to very subtly make offers, just like this very subtle graphic you see behind me, how you'll hear me mention the book a few times, just like I did on last week's show. The second is to provide goodwill to my marketplace using the old demonstrate you can help people by actually helping them trick. Seems to work really, really well. So I always believe you should be seeding your marketplace with goodwill. I think it's a good idea to come to full grips and understanding with the fact that, to a degree, if not an absolute degree, our income is in direct proportion to the amount of goodwill we have in a marketplace. So social media is powerful. Facebook Live is powerful. And yes, you're right. If some folks are saying, well, dude, of course, it was profitable for you. You've got a big following on Facebook. Yeah, you're right. It's not really a big following on Facebook. It's minuscule compared to a lot of the people that I know. But sure, I had a bit of a head start. But why not go ahead and get started building that following now with a definitive purpose in mind? So the next thing I wanted to test last week, and I wanted to share with you, was, okay, we know that Facebook Live works. As a matter of fact, the total reach of the show was greater than the total of my amount of fans on Facebook. Was amazing. So then I wanted to say, well, okay, what happens if you just make a post? A video post that gives some content, but it's not live, and it doesn't necessarily pitch anything. It just does some stuff, and maybe there's a link or something in the comments. Well, I got all OCD once again, and I did such a test twice, and I tracked the results for you. Now, before I show you those results, I want to tell you what we're doing today. I'm going to show you those results. Then I'm going to walk you behind the scenes of the ad campaign that I have started running on the 31st of May. So we're about 3 full days into it. It's getting a 700% return on investment. Then I'm going to walk you through how this book campaign works. That's all in today's show. And we're going to end by me showing you a triple NLP headline that I think you could model and test immediately. If you have questions, comments, need anything, call in. I'm reading off the screen now. Our office number is 858-859-9486. So what I want to show you right now is going to be the behind the scenes of the 2 Facebook posts that I made and tracked to see what happens when you make a subtle pitch with just a post. No boosting, no advertising, no nothing. Sassy, if you got it queued up, fire at will. Here it comes.
Okay, welcome back to Behind the Scenes. So where I am now is I want to show you how well just random Facebook posts did. So I started tracking them kind of later in the week last week. I actually started early in the week and I screwed it up, so I started tracking them correctly later. So let's talk about this one first, right here. This link is tracking all of the traffic that came from this post right here. Okay, so basically what this post was a video post where I was basically just showing folks a video like, hey man, here's some stats on that show that I did earlier today. I did this video on the same day as the show. I just did it at the end of the day where the show was 10 in the morning. I did this around 5 o'clock in the afternoon on that Thursday, and I was literally just saying, hey, check this out. And I showed them some stats from the show, how I'd been tracking traffic and all kinds of stuff, which was fine. And I put the link right here. So when you make a video post, you can put a little link there. So I put the link here, and I also put the link in the copy above the video. This wasn't paid for. This wasn't boosted. I didn't send my list to it. I just put it on Facebook to see what happened. All right, so let's have a look now at the results. So that's this one right here. I got 215 visitors to that and a total of 71 sales, which is insane, and a total of $4,942 in revenue, which is wonderful because the video is 100% goodwill. Now, I tried it again on Saturday of this weekend. I think it was Saturday. I can't quite remember. Yeah, I believe it was Saturday anyway. We'll know here in a minute. And that's this link right here. So that post was, let's get out of this here for you. Let's see, that post was this one right here. Yeah, 10:29 a.m. I believe it was Saturday. And this is again, just me, just looking real good here. Just me giving some stats saying, hey, here's how Facebook Live worked. Here's an update from it. If you look at the post, I don't even put a link here in the copy above the video. I just did it in the comments. And this worked really, really well to the degree that it brought in, here's the stats. This is the one right here. We got 152 visitors from it, 26 sales, $2,874.20 in revenue. So posting helpful videos to Facebook seems to be working pretty good. None of these videos were a hard pitch at all. It was like, hey, here's some cool information. By the way, if you want this thing, there's a link you can click. That was it. And it's working pretty good. So I strongly suggest you give it a whirl.
How about them apples? Can you believe how well that worked? I would have never guessed that. Had I not measured it, I'd been like, well, okay, maybe it works pretty good. But I got to tell you, I was wrong. Andrew, I was wrong. Wrong about Facebook being a waste of time if you do it properly. Now, what was the outcome? What was the specific outcome of those two posts? First and foremost, to provide goodwill and connect with the audience. Showing stats, hey, here's how this worked. Hey, maybe you want to try this. Here's what we did. Here are the preliminary results. Getting genuine engagement and being genuinely helpful. And as you could tell, the secondary outcome was to very subtly promote the book, which is, of course, time for a pitch, newkernbook.com. So if you want to get a copy of this sucker right here for shipping only, a whopping $5.60, shipped by United States Postal Service to your doorstep anywhere in the world, go to newkernbook.com, grab your copy, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, we're about to take, I think we're going to, hey, do we have that commercial I shot available? Is that thing ready to run? This is miraculous if this works. Yeah, the one that I shared you. I am the type of person who actually makes commercials for his own stuff on his own show, which I think might be the very definition of narcissism, really, or solid, good promoting. So give me the thumbs up when we're able to go to that. Cool, so after this brief commercial break for my own stuff, I'm going to give you an ad for something for free. I'm going to walk you through now the Facebook campaign, so stay with me in a minute. I'm going to show you exactly the Facebook ads and the campaigns that are getting a 700% return on ad spend over a, I believe, 72-hour period. You'll see right after this. Roll the commercial there, Slim.
Statistically speaking, every second you spend watching this video, small businesses will spend $3,373.46 on information. That's $226,407.91 per minute. That's $13,584,474.88 every hour, which adds up to $326,027,397.26 per day, every single day, just on information products. And that's just in one niche. And the best news, there are 3 niches that are rapidly growing, just like this one. If you'd like to see the world's biggest niches for selling information products, and if you'd like to see what kind of products they buy the most, and if you'd like to learn how to target customers with money to spend on information products, then go to infobusinessvideos.com. There, you'll find a free training series of videos that show you exactly where the biggest opportunities of growth are, exactly what type of products people are buying, and exactly how to target your ideal customers with money to spend on information products. Once again, that's totally free. Go to infobusinessvideos.com and get yours free right now.
A commercial within a commercial, basically. What is the world coming to? Damn these marketers, I tell you what. But you know what? You should always be marketing, right? Always be promoting your stuff. If you do it in a way that's friendly and helpful to everybody, there's no reason in the world not to, unless, of course, you have bad stuff. If you have bad stuff, all good marketing is going to do is run you out of business faster, because people are going to find out you got bad stuff even sooner. Now, my lovely team has sent over a couple of comments from the people on the Facebooks here. I can't see you on Facebook. I don't have it set up where I can see your comments, so my team is sending this to me by Skype. And Emmanuel Dragmere, I hope I got that right, says, Frank Kern selling stuff by telling us how he sells stuff, doing shows, selling, genius with a capital J. You're right, sir. Stephen Jansen says, what is your CPC on Facebook? That's cost per click. Mine is around $1. And get out of there. Am I doing something wrong? Probably not, sir. It depends on your market and who you're targeting. If you're targeting mesothelioma patients, for example, then your CPC of $1 would be amazing. For all of those who are not privy to marketing lingo, CPC is cost per click. But you know what? That's a perfect segue to this next section. Why don't I walk you through my actual ads right now? So what we're going to do here, and this is going to give us, this has got some room for technical error. Okay, so this is going to involve me now doing something on the computer. So Andrew, I'm going to pull this thing up on my monitor. Is that right? Sure. Okay, let's see here. All right, I'm going to press play. Now I guess I should make it full screen. Yeah. This is genius, y'all. Genius. Here we go. Okay, so what you see right here, I haven't pressed play yet, by the way, so that's why you should still hear me. What you see here is going to be a walkthrough of my current ad campaign. This ad campaign started on May 31st. These are stats up until midnight last night. I shot this for you this morning as well. So here we go.
Now let's talk about the mother lode, and that is Facebook ads. As you know, I think that the surest way to acquire wealth, and at the very least cash flow, is to learn how to turn advertising into profit consistently. So let's have a look at how the old Facebook ads have been doing. So I'm back here in Wicked Reports, and we started running Facebook ads for this offer, for the free book offer, on the 31st of May. So I'll run that report here. And that campaign is called DWM Client Book. So I'll click on Filter, and we got a couple of stats I want to show you. First of all, I'm tracking first click here. So I've had 5,165 clicks in total since May 31st up until yesterday, June 2nd. It's not tracking today. That'll be ready at midnight. 212 sales are brand new people, where this is the first thing they've ever clicked. And that brought in a total of $6,144, or $114.40. So my return on ad spend here is $315, or 315.68%. That means for every dollar I put in, I'm getting $3 back. That has been over the course of 3 days. Now have a look at this. This gets better. If I go and I say, okay, let's see where this is the last click people made before they did a purchase, I'm going to get really a bigger number. And what we're seeing here is in total, I still have the same amount of clicks, but of my customers, 445 of them, this was either their last click or their first and last click. So some of these people have been to my sites before, but didn't purchase, and that's what we have here. So in total, I've put in $1. This is since May 31st. I put in $1, and for every dollar I've put in, I've gotten $7 back. That's a 703.91% return on investment. The revenue here from 445 total sales is $11,825. So what I want to show you now is I want to walk you through the ads themselves. I've spent around, actually, I can tell you real quick here what we've spent on this sucker. The total spend, ladies and gentlemen, has been $1,470 so far as of June 2nd. So really up until around midnight today is what that spend is, and it's turned into $11,000. So let me go back to live now, and I'll show you how the campaign works.
All right, back to me. Back to you. Back to you, Frank. Okay, how about them apples, man? Now, so if you followed me for any length of time, you have probably heard me espousing. Is that a word? It is now. It sounds good. Sounds like so. I've got on a blazer, so surely it must be a real word. I mean, guys on a blazer in a professional video studio has to be a real word. Espousing what I believe to be the gospel according to Kern, and that is the most consistent and, in my opinion, the fastest way to create wealth is to have the ability to turn advertising into profit. That is my personal experience and personal opinion. Yeah, of course you should invest in real estate or any other investments that make sense to you, but I don't think there's anything that's really going to give you a faster and more powerful return on a dollar spent than an advertising campaign that works and that is profitable. So what you just saw was the campaign that we started running on May 31st, day after my birthday. So I was one solid day into being 44 years old. Yes, I realize I look significantly younger. By that I mean 43. And it's been running still. And so every dollar we put in, we get $7 out. So a lot of folks have asked me to walk them through how that campaign works. So what I'm going to do, you're seeing it on your screen here. I think we'll go to full screen for this one, is I'm going to walk you through all the elements of this sucker. So there we go. On that screen there, this is one of the ads. So these are paid ads that I'm running on the Facebooks here. And as you can see, there's nothing fancy about them. Just, hey, do you want to get this book? You know, go ahead and click it. When they click the ad, all right, there we go, there's the ad. When they click the ad, they're going to this page. And this is a long-form sales letter. And what's particularly funny about this long-form sales letter is it's converting very, very well, even though right at the top of the headline there, I say something that's completely stupid. I say something, I can't quite read it from where I'm sitting here. My eyes aren't so good, but it says, all copies have been claimed as of 12 Pacific time on Friday, May 25th. Well, Friday was not May 25th. It was May 27th. So I was in such a hurry because we've sold out so quickly that I put the wrong date up there. It's, by the way, they're no longer back ordered, which is awesome. I need to take that off. But it's still converting. This page, if you were to look at the entire thing, is probably close to 8 or 10 pages of copy. That's the thing I want to tell you about. Number one, just because you have an incredible offer, in this case, it's a free book, just pay the whopping $5.60 shipping. Just because you have an incredible offer doesn't mean you need to be lazy about selling it. So this page is working because A, the offer is really solid, B, it's presented to the right category of people, and C, I try really hard to make the sale. So if you were to print this sucker out, it would be a pretty good-sized sales letter, the same length of sales letter one might expect if we were trying to sell something for $1,000 or $2,000. So never underestimate the importance of actually trying to make the sale. You know, maybe if you guys ask me to, I'll do a show about copy and sales strategies for one of our upcoming episodes. All right, let's hit back to the full screen here. All right, so that's the page that sells the book. Well, it gives the book away, but it collects the shipping. Interestingly enough, it costs me, on average, $11.15 to print and ship each book on average, mainly because of the international orders. I have about 30% of my business is international, so I'm eating a lot of that cost. So every time somebody does this, I'm losing a pretty fair chunk of change. So how do I turn this into profit? Well, good thing that you asked, I say. The first thing they see after, actually, is that on the screen there, Sassy? So it shows the upsell video. I'm looking at 3 different screens. I'm confused. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Man, I've been doing it wrong this whole time. Okay, the middle one. All right, so after they buy the book, I'm telling you, trained professionals here, folks. After they buy the book, of course, you see a video there that offers a one-click upsell. Now, what I'm showing you right now is what you see if you click, yes, I want this, to prevent risk of people accidentally ordering the upsell if they didn't want to. I set up the system to have a little pop-up that's basically saying, hey, are you sure? And it lists the price there again. So they have to confirm. Not only do they click the yes, I want this, but then they have to confirm that they want it. They're selling a product for $297. It's a very good training. It's called Reframe, and it talks all about how you can make the same offer multiple times without exhausting your audience or being obnoxious, and while still maintaining goodwill and being relevant. So if they take that offer, or if they don't, all right, so here's where we are, by the way, in the grand scheme of things, right? So they see the ad, they buy the book, now they're seeing the one-click upsell. Regardless of whether or not they take that offer, they now see a second one-click upsell. This is for a product that probably most of y'all have. It's called Video Black Box. I've been selling it as a one-click upsell for something like 5 years. I really need to come up with another one-click upsell, which is in the hopper for me to do. But this thing still is selling very, very well. So this is positioned as a tutorial, and it's important that you know that this upsell video is actually a tutorial, as well as the first upsell video is a tutorial. It shows how the consulting client acquisition process works, and it talks about, hey, what are you going to do if they don't initially take you up on this thing, and talks about different angles of approaching the offer. So when making one-click upsell videos, for me anyway, it always helps to educate the prospect while making the pitch. I believe if we can make our marketing something of value in and of itself, it will accelerate the pace at which we begin to dominate our market. Man, I tell you, that sounded smart right there, didn't it? We recording this? I'm just going to have that one segment. That'll be good. All right, let's go back to full screen here. Okay, so are we on the full screen there? There we go. Okay. All right, so next thing is if they don't get that, or if they do, regardless, so no matter if they say yes to the upsells or not, here is where they land next, which is, where are you? This page, right here. So this is a webinar registration page. So this is basically one of the bonuses I promise for people who get the book, which is I'm going to give you an advanced training on some stuff that you need to know specifically about how to create campaigns, how they're laid out, peeking under the hood, kind of like some of the stuff we're doing right now, but specifically about the sale of professional services and high-ticket things. Of course, that webinar makes an offer for a more expensive class. In this case, it is one of my embarrassingly lower priced classes because I'm offering a significant discount on that webinar. For those who do not register, because not all of them will, of course, I put them in what is called a re-invite sequence. And that's a sequence of multiple emails that are just driving them back to the registration page, essentially saying, hey man, you need to register for this webinar. It's free. It's pretty good. It's a bonus training that complements the book that you ordered, that shows you some of the stuff that I learned after I wrote the book. So that's working very well. So all of those components, and we can come back to me now, good old Sassy D. All of those components, oh man, you know what? I want to put my blatant pitch back up on the screen behind me. Hang on here. Oh, guys, by the way, if you haven't yet, please share this show. There we go. Look at this. Hang on. This is us. Look at that. That's amazing. See, I'm controlling what's going on over there with this monitor over here. I tell you what, high tech and fancy, $495 a Wirecast. Unbelievable investment. I tell you, they could have charged 10 times as much. I'd still think it was a great deal. Anyway, all those moving pieces, that is what is making the campaign work. So a lot of folks say, man, what's the incentive? Why are you giving this book away? Surely you're losing money on the book. Yes, I'm losing money on the book. However, I'm making significantly more on the one-click upsells and the folks who purchase from the webinar. And 100% of it is goodwill-based, which is very, very helpful. So why am I showing you this? Well, I think it's worth modeling. Is it a lot of work? Of course it's a lot of work. Are your competitors likely to do it? No, they're not. Most people are afraid to go a little bit negative, or afraid to put a little bit of risk out there. But calculated risk pays off very, very well. Now, a big thing that's making this campaign work is something called an automated webinar campaign. Sass, you got the text number for us there? We could display on the screen. There it is. Look at that. All right, so here's the deal. I'm having a workshop, I think it's in July. I can't believe I can't remember, but it's only because I'm on camera. If I wasn't on camera, I would be able to remember. I'm having a workshop here probably in the next 6 weeks or so. I think we have 2 or 3 spots left for this, where I actually implant my automated campaigns into your Infusionsoft account for you. And then you come to San Diego along with 20 other businesses, and I personally show you how to deploy these along with my tech team. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you're going to want to text Ashley at my office immediately. The number to text is on your screen there. It is 858-239-1008. Just text her with the word workshop, and she'll text you right back, and she'll begin a conversation with you, tell you a little bit more about what's involved in that workshop and how it might be a benefit to you. I will tell you there is a caveat to this thing. It's not really suitable for everybody. It is best for people who sell information products or who are consultants, coaches, or professional service providers. If you sell something like light bulbs or bicycle parts or whatever, it's probably not going to be a benefit to you. But if you want us to help you create the moving parts for campaigns like I just walked you through, that's what that workshop is for. There's 7 of them in total that we transplant into your Infusionsoft account for you before you even show up to the workshop. And by the way, if you don't have Infusionsoft, we can get you set up with Infusionsoft and even waive the $1,800 setup fee, because we're certified Infusionsoft partners and we have the ability to do that. Pretty sweet. Anyway, text workshop to 858-239-1008 if that sounds interesting to you. And if not, have no fear. It is certainly not for everybody, and spaces are extremely limited. Now, there's one thing I want to leave you with, a useful tactic for gaining attention in your marketplace. So I came across this ad here. As a matter of fact, let's see. I can put it up. Oh, look there. Isn't that amazing? Right there behind me. So I was on the plane going to Miami about 2 weeks ago, I think. I can't remember. And I was messing around, like trying to work on the plane, not really working on the plane, you know what I mean? So I'm on like an article site, and I see a text link ad. It was by Outbrain. And here was the headline of the ad: "Why are women ditching Lululemon for Fabletics?" Now, Fabletics is an exercise clothing line by Kate Hudson. I don't wear it. It makes me look a little bit more feminine than I care to. But I hear it's pretty good stuff. Nonetheless, I saw that sentence. I had to click on it because I recognized brilliance right then. So let's talk about what is so good about this and why you might want to model it. So first of all, that sentence is, as a headline, phenomenal. Reason number one, it's a pattern interrupt because it asks a question. When we ask our marketplace or a prospect a question, it's almost physically impossible for the brain to ignore that. I mean, maybe some people can ignore it, I don't know, but the all-knowing they, whoever they may be, they say that it is impossible for our conscious and subconscious minds to ignore a question. So, oftentimes, if you have a headline and it's a question, or even if it's a headline in an ad, not even a sales letter, and it's a question, you might get a little boost in response. But what makes this thing so extremely powerful are the 3 other elements to it. Number 1 is the first element of presupposition, which is presupposing that women are actually ditching Lululemon. See, if you say, "Why are women ditching Lululemon?" this is already causing your brain to accept the fact, quote unquote, that women are in fact ditching Lululemon. We don't know if they really are. I have no idea. But that implants that in your brain. The second presupposition is that they are ditching Lululemon for Fabletics, that they are actually choosing Fabletics. So it's kind of like if we were in court and I was the prosecuting attorney and I said, Mr. Ekblad, why did you murder your wife last Friday? Well, what am I really presupposing? That A, he actually murdered his wife, and B, that he did so on Friday of last week, which he did not, by the way. He's a good fellow. He doesn't murder anybody's wives, especially his own. The third element here, which is really amazing, is social proof, and that is the implication that other people are doing it. So what I'd love to know is your results from testing this approach in your own marketing, in some of your ads, right? So let's just go ahead and have a little bit of fun with it, and maybe you can report back to me next week and tell me how it may or may not have worked for you. Oh, I've got a question here from TJ Gibson. I'll take this question really, really quickly. Right after, Sassy, let's roll the commercial again. I need some water. This is why I'm rolling the commercial. Let's roll the commercial for my own stuff so I can get a drink of water and make it look like it's all professional and I didn't really have to get a drink of water. What do you say? You ready to fire it up? Let it happen, Captain.
Statistically speaking, every second you spend watching this video, small businesses will spend $3,373.46 on information. That's $226,407.91 per minute. That's $13,584,474.88 every hour, which adds up to $326,027,397.26 per day, every single day, just on information products. And that's just in one niche. And the best news, there are 3 niches that are rapidly growing, just like this one. If you'd like to see the world's biggest niches for selling information products, and if you'd like to see what kind of products they buy the most, and if you'd like to learn how to target customers with money to spend on information products, then go to infobusinessvideos.com. There, you'll find a free training series of videos that show you exactly where the biggest opportunities of growth are, exactly what type of products people are buying, and exactly how to target your ideal customers with money to spend on information products. Once again, that's totally free. Go to infobusinessvideos.com and get yours free right now.
Hot diggity, look at there, commercial within commercial, greatest thing ever. Okay, so let me take this question real quick. I'll show you one more thing after the question, then we'll wrap it up for the week and I'll see you next week. This is from TJ Gibson, and by the way, I think we failed to test the Skype call-in thing today, so I was unable to take callers. We'll fix that before next week. This is from good old TJ Gibson. TJ says, I'm a direct response copywriter, and I just wrote a sales letter in VSL for a client that helped my client generate over 1,000 sales in 6 days for my client. How would you suggest I build on that success? Well, here's what I would do. I would immediately compile a list of that client's competitors, as long as you can do so ethically, and say, here's what I just did for your competitor, Mr. Jones, we'll say. Would you like me to help you do the same? Another thing I would do is say, okay, client, we just generated 1,000 sales. Now let's ask ourselves the question that's going to make you the most money, which is what's the next thing we can sell those 1,000 people while maintaining the goodwill and continuing to do value or to deliver value to them and continue to make sales as well. So you got 2 big opportunities. The lowest hanging fruit, by the way, is to create something that's going to sell those other 1,000 customers. And my wonder here is I'm hoping that they didn't just run the promo for 6 days and stop. But I don't know the context of how that work was done. So A, go to competitors. B, go back to client and say, let's sell something else to those 1,000 people. And now I'll leave you with an ad that I absolutely love here. We'll switch to the PowerPoint thingy there, Sassy D. Here it is. It's behind me. You can see it on the screen as well. I love this thing. This ad, or a version thereof, has been running forever, and I think it's worth modeling. I want to test it actually with the book. And here it is. This is for a company, I believe they're called American Giant. I want one of these dang hoodies. I don't even wear hoodies, man, but I want one just because of the stupid ad. Ridiculously popular hoodie is finally available after months on wait list. I think this has been going on for about 3 years. I don't know if the wait list thing is real or not. I would assume it is. I can't imagine they would just make that up. But man, what a very, very powerful ad because of the massive amounts of social proof and instant embedded scarcity. Ridiculously popular hoodie, blam, social proof. Finally available after months on wait list, scarcity. All done in one simple sentence. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show today. If you are a consultant or a coach or a professional services provider and you would like to read about how to get more clients in a way that's very consistent and stable and in a way that's genuinely helpful to all parties involved, go over to newkernbook.com, get yourself a free copy of How to Get Consulting Clients. I forgot the title of my own book, How to Get Consulting Clients Fast, even if no one's ever heard of you. I'll send it to you, $5.60 shipping anywhere in the world. I hope you enjoy that. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please share the show. I need your help in getting this word out. My mission for doing this show and for all of my work is a big one. Never really shared this with anybody, but it is my dream that I will be able to affect so many businesses that it will have a measurable effect on the American economy. I believe that if all businesses start marketing and advertising well, and they actually do so at a profit, our economy will go up. I want to do my part to make that happen. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Still haven't decided on the regular time for the show. Looking like Fridays at 10 or 11, though, probably. It's one of those two. To everyone who's on my email list that got an email this morning with a bad link in it, I can neither confirm nor deny allegations that I wrote that email to you in haste this morning while trying to pull all of these slides together for today's show, fresh off of a plane from Cabo. So sorry about the inconvenience. I'm glad you made it here anyway. I'll see you next week. Tell your friends. Until then, keep up the good work. I'm Frank Kern. I'll talk to you later.